Hey everybody, I'm gonna teach you how to draw, but not realistic because I can't draw realistic. I'll show you how to draw some anime, or if you want to keep it simple, cartoons. First of all, what you'll need is your pencil. I like to use a lead pencil. This is 0.7. I don't have the top to it, but I got it in my eraser still. So you need your pencil. Next, your lead. Whatever lead you need if you have a lead pencil. Got my 0.7 just in case. And I like to use this high polymer eraser. It's probably one of the best erasers you can use for drawing because it just gets rid of things very easily unless it's too dark. Next are your inking pens. This one I like to use more often because it's a bit of a thinner point, so it's easier to use for things, especially if you're trying to go for a lighter shade with your ink. This one's good for darker, heavier lines. It's also just a bit thicker than this one, so that's why I have this just in case. I usually use this one. Okay, I'm gonna draw you a person. So first off, what you want to do, for the most part, you don't have to do this, but I like to do this, is generally shape the parts of the body that you're going to need. So start with the head, draw a circle for the point, then you just kind of want to draw lines for all the points are going to be, the shoulders. And if you want to make some points bigger, just so you remember that they're hands or feet, that also helps you. Then when that's done, what I like to do, you don't have to do this, is I generally erase what you're going to start with. I'm going to start with the head. And you want to refine it, the shape of it. Get the general shape. Draw a happy little head. That wasn't funny. So you got the chin, the general cheek shape, and the sides of the head. And I usually do this to help, so you can help align the head of the body and with the eyes and nose. Let's draw these line things. I don't remember what they're called, but I like to do them. Then once that's done, you're going to want to draw your nose. I like to draw my nose as just a little simple line. It's very easy to do. And the eyes. The eyes, to me, are one of the more important parts of the drawing because they can kind of make or break the look of the person. You also don't want to draw or use your pencil too hard, otherwise if you're going to erase it, it becomes very hard to erase because of how hard it is. You generally want to draw very light. Now this is why you have the line, because you want to draw the next time once you start with the opposite one, generally to be hopefully the same shape. That's why I have the lines to help me get that general shape. You can color them in or do other searches with them. I'm going to color mine. You can just draw a mouth. There's a mouth. Now for the more funner part of drawing, especially anime and other such things, is the hair. The hair is always can be whatever you want to be, because damn it. I need to pop my neck, okay? Hands are generally the more harder part. I find people, whenever they say they draw to draw. And honestly, they're right, I hate drawing hands. But you gotta keep practicing if you want to be. That's probably good enough. And for my little guy, I'm gonna give him some gloves, fingerless gloves, just because reasons. And I'm just gonna color in this whole thing so I know it's a glove. And what you can do, most people don't like to because sometimes they think it looks weird. You can draw these little lines to help indicate that there are nails there. That still looks really bad. Or moving on. And move on to the other arm, shoulder thing. Generally a good idea in preface to work down from the shoulder. I usually don't do that, but I usually do it with one and not the other. But it's whatever your preference is. Another thing I find very hard to draw is the general forearm and like muscle shape of the arm. just because, I don't know, I just never really draw it that often. That's usually why I draw more baggy, full-sleeved people. And for more parts right here with the line, you also generally want to shade, because it's part of the muscle, and so it's shading with it, at least if it's tight like this. Now that's the sleeve. I'm gonna draw the rest of this guy's hand. I'm gonna try and make it look kind of cool, hopefully. Now for the body. The body. Arguably one of the most important parts of this. Here's the bottom of the sweater. Here's that weird tightening thing that's on a sweater generally. I like to color that in just for the lines. I like to do that for all main cuff-like things on a sweater. Also, just down here, sometimes you want to draw certain lines so you know the shade on here, because it's a sweater and so baggy, there are general things more shaded than often. And sometimes to do when you have nothing on your sweater to help give the indication that the person is a little bent over, I guess you could say, to give them a bit more feeling to know what their pose is. You're gonna want to draw other lines and shapes that goes with that order. So that's why I'm drawing on this sweater a line going down. And because it's going straight down the center, it's bending. So people know that he's hunched over slightly. And now for the feet. This part is generally easy. Sometimes it can get a little sloppy. If you go past where you draw your general lines and joints at the very beginning, that doesn't really matter, just as long as you get the drawing done in the first place. Or if it bothers you, you can try and resize it to your fit. That's a general rule of thumb. That's what the general look of the picture. And now for the feet. I draw my people, for the most part, with baggy hands, kind of like sweats. Then what you can do is have it kind of bag over and then draw the foot part underneath it, which I think, for the most part, looks pretty neat. For the last foot. Go. That's pretty much done. But for my character, I like to give him a little bit of a supernatural cool element to him, so I like to give him other such powers. So the reason why I had this guy's hand there like this, so because he's kind of clutching at his powers, or gathering them, I don't know what you call it. And he has water powers, so I'm going to just draw some moving water in there. The reason why I draw a little bubble inside of them is to show the reflection of light. This side. pretty much done. I forgot a little few details up here in the hair. Generally what I like to do is draw, the way the line's supposed to be looking, the kind of general comb direction of the hair. And to draw the reflection of the sun and light line in the hair. That's what this general little line here is for. The little line across. That is how you draw your general human anime cartoon character people. That's at least that's how I do it. It's whatever is up to you and what your preference is. That's just how I do it, so draw.